You all right?
Hello!
We've just realised we've got matching Korp clothes on.
Yeah. Not creepy at all.
I know.
Is that one of the new T-shirts, Nathan?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Nice. Yeah, I like the active wear one, yeah?
No, it's not the active one, no.
No, it's the loose fit.
the loose fit.
Rude.
I actually feel quite nice quality.
Oh, excellent stuff. That's good to know. Thank you, mate. It came here quite quick as well, considering it was made in America, I think, wasn't it?
Child's the internet has trouble.
Oh, is it? No, it's made.
I thought so, yeah. I thought they were all from America, so that's pretty good.
I only ordered it about 3 days ago.
Wow. Or maybe it was one that was done in England. I know the mark was in America.
Good.
Ah, nice one. Thank you, mate. Hi, Nick. Hi, Carol. I see you there. Hi, Kate.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
Oh, you all right?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
You?
David not joining us?
No. He's not a drawer.
Neither am I. Don't worry. Hi, Chris. You all right, Chris? Excellent stuff.
That's all we can see on the screen now. We won't know any of it.
Hi, Al. You all right, mate?
Yeah.
I see you back there. Got your own sketchbook?
Yeah. The only way you can do it is if you do that, and then it will scroll through.
Oh, okay.
Who is there? But you can have a look. There's more than we've got on there. There's 10.
Oh.
Okay. What I will do is I'll just put everyone on mute for a few seconds. Obviously, feel free to unmute yourself whenever you like. If you've got something to say, if you just want to have a chat. Generally, when I run these workshops, I keep everyone on mute, but that's mainly because I've got younger people and Nathan in the room, and they need to be muted. But yeah, obviously this is an adult doodle club, so unmute yourself if you want to have a little chat. I'm sure there won't be much background noise going on, stuff like that. So yeah, feel free to get involved. Let's have a bit of a chat as well as doing a bit of doodling. I think everyone's in, so there's loads more people bought tickets, but we'll give them one more minute before we actually properly start. See how things go.
Hayley's not got herself on video. Look.
Mrs. Korp's in the background. If you can see her, that's Mrs. Korp. Yeah, everyone's waving to you. She's using my she's using my son's PC, which is in the lockdown studio, which is a vintage caravan in my backyard. Hey, Hayley's on. Hiya. You're right. Good stuff. Right, we'll get started in a few seconds. Just one thing for you all to know is that I really wanted to do this workshop. One of the reasons I wanted to do this workshop was so that I could add a workshop to YouTube. So I'm hoping you're all going to be okay with that. That after we've done this drawing, this video will get uploaded to YouTube as a way of showing the kind of stuff that the workshops that I'm doing. Most of the workshops I'm doing at the moment are for members only, so it's all kind of secure and it's just tucked away. There's loads of kids involved as well, so they're all like securely stored on a members area of the website. Don't want to put those on YouTube, but I'm feeling like I can exploit you and use this video to put it on YouTube and show everybody. So if anybody's uncomfortable with that, just say take yourself off camera. It'll be absolutely fine. You can still join in, but won't be on camera. What else have I got to tell you about? Yeah, okay, so anybody that's not been in here before, the structure for my doodle clubs is we do a little bit of drawing. It's all going to be with Sharpie markers and things like that. So a little bit of drawing. Then we take a break about halfway through where we'll hold up what we're doing, how we're getting on, just show everybody else what we're doing, probably pick up a few tips, things like that. So we'll stop halfway through for a break, quick chat, check everyone's on the right path. Then we'll get on with the second half of the doodling, and then we'll finish, and it will be done by about 9 o'clock. I don't anticipate we'll be much later than 9 o'clock today, but we'll see how it goes. I've got a Chinese food on order at 9 o'clock, so I think I'm quite confident we'll be finishing on time. Yeah, the other thing is it's all step by step as well, so you don't need to be an artist to join in. Anybody can join in. The only thing you will need, we are going to use a pencil today for a few lines to get us started with. Then if you've got a, thanks Nathan, if you've got a Sharpie or a similar kind of pen, that would be good. We tend to, with the workshops, I tend to use 2 pens, a thick pen and a thin pen. Well, it looks like you've got a magic wand, Susan. You're on mute at the moment. I can't tell what you're saying, but it looks like you've got a magic wand. So if you want to do a trick, that'd be great. But yeah, generally, so like I say, it's a thick pen and a thin pen is usually the technique that I go with. It doesn't really matter what we use today. You could get away with just using a biro. That will work. But yeah, Sharpie, if you've got one, would be ideal. I've just got Brendan joining as well. Hi, Brendan. Hope you're well, mate. Not sure if you're coming on camera or not. If you do, it'd be good to see you again, mate. Right, so the other thing to let you know then is the artist we're going to be looking at a specific... there he is. Hi, Brendan. All right, mate. So yeah, the artist we're going to be looking at today. So usually when it comes to Doodle Club, we just doodle some like, you know, random things. So we do like ice lollies, stuff like that. Nice and easy stuff to draw, accessible stuff. Every now and then we do we focus on a specific artist. So today I'd like us to focus on an artist called Nychos. Don't know if you've heard of Nychos, but really well known, got a couple of 100,000 subscribers on Instagram, so well worth having a little follow. And what he tends to do is it's almost like anatomical street art. So he kind of takes stuff and he splits it up so you can see the skull and the brains and the skin all in separate layers. So we're going to have a little go at doing something like that today. And I promise you, it will take us about 40 minutes tops to do it. So right, I think everyone's in. So if you're ready to go, I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to spotlight my video. So my video will be the main video on for a little while. But also I'm going to change the camera angle because you're going to be looking at my face. This is what we're going to try and draw today. So it's kind of like that. It's got that Nychos thing where the character, the head has just been split in half, separated, and then you can see the skull there in the middle. So we'll have a little go and see if we can do something like that today. Okay, you ready? So grab yourself a clean sheet of paper. A couple of clean sheets of paper, because if you're using Sharpies, it is going to go straight through. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Grab your pencil, because we're going to do a few outlines with pencil, a few guidelines with pencil first to get us started off. Then everything else will just fall into place, okay? So you've got an A4 sheet of paper, hopefully, or something similar. What we're going to do is split that A4 sheet into thirds. So what we want is a 1/3 there, and a line going up, and then another third of there, line going up. So this is with your pencil. Leave a bit of a gap at the top and the bottom with that pencil line. Split your sheet into thirds for me. Next thing we're going to do is right across the middle, this way, right across the middle, we're going to draw a line. Starts from about halfway in this first third, all the way across to about halfway into that last third, yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, these two bits at the bottom, these two bits, we're going to turn these into squares next. So just down and across, down and across. That gives us a bit of a guideline of where the mouth's going to be. Can you see that all right, Chris? Go a little bit darker. That line in the middle is not too important to us. It's these boxes at the side that are important. Because we're drawing symmetrical as well, we want to try and keep them quite level. Okay, a couple more pencil lines. These boxes that we've just drawn, just going to draw up. So we've got an extra line up here. So we're creating like a cup almost. Do the same on both sides. And then the last pencil lines we're going to do before we get rid of the pencil, a couple of circles. So you kind of want to leave, the circle's going to go in just here. And that circle is going to be the eye. You want to leave a little bit of a gap in between these two pencil lines either side. So let me show you roughly where it's going to go. Round about there. Same on both sides. Can be a bit wonky because we're doing this like a goblin style character, so it doesn't matter if the lines are a little bit off. And then pencil gone. Let's grab your Sharpies now. Do a little bit of work with Sharpie. Or whatever pen you've got that you can work with. Doesn't matter too much. So I'm going to work with a Sharpie. So like I say, what we're going to do is we're going to do half of this face first. And when I mean half, I mean we're just going to do the eyes and the mouth first on this. Then we're going to take a break and see how everyone's getting on. So let's concentrate on the eyes first. So if you remember, this line here is the edge of the face. So it's all skull inside here. This line here is the edge of the face. So we don't want any of our lines to go too far over this line. So the first thing we're going to do is like a sausage shape across this eye to create an eyebrow. So let me show you first what it's going to look like. About there. So you see how it's overlapping that eye? We're just touching that. We're just going over that pencil line as well, where the skin's going to be across there. And then again, repeat that for the other side. Now, one of the things I'll say a lot is to double line everything we do. So if you're using a Sharpie, if you can draw perfectly smooth lines, that's great, draw perfectly smooth lines. But if you can't, then let's draw some wonky lines. And by double lining it, what we're doing is we're just creating loads of thick parts and thin parts on those lines. And as long as all the lines that we do in this picture are thin and thick, it will look like we did it on purpose. Okay, next lines are the actual eyeballs. So underneath those eyebrows, just go and ink out your eyeballs. Double line it again. Two parts to pay particular attention to when you're double lining for things like this is the underside. You want to try and make the underside a little bit thicker. So what we're doing there is we're just creating a little bit of a shadow, using a marker pen to create a shadow with a line. The other bit to think about is these intersections. So you see where these lines join in to other lines, just there and there. That's an intersection. You kind of want to make that a little bit thicker as well. Let's go do the same on the other side. Everything we do, it's going to take us twice as long to draw this picture because everything we do, we've got to do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, let's make our character look a little bit more gnarly by putting a couple of bags under there. So under the eye, both sides, a couple of bags like this. And then let's stick a nose in. So remember, our face is kind of split into two. So we're going to do one half of the nose here, one half of the nose here. For the nose shape, this line here across here is the top of the lip. So we're going to go just a little bit above that where we start. We're going to go round and then join into the eye. So out there, round, join into the eye.
I hate the fact you make that look so easy.
It is easy, mate. Just
Yeah.
do it. Do it every day for 30 years.
Okay.
That's all I did. Nothing special. I mean, if you want to do an easier nose, mate, you go and do an easier nose.
Is there an easier nose?
I don't know. I thought that was the easy one.
Yeah.
Right. And the middle part of the nose as well. So just go straight up, follow that pencil line, straight up into the eyebrow. So we've got like a half a nose in there. And then the challenge is to try and make it a similar kind of size on the opposite side. Similar kind of shape. So coming out from the eye, go around and then in to that line. Follow the pencil line up the top. Really intrigued to see what your nose looks like now, Nath.
I'll save the surprise. It's
So
I was going to say, Nath, can't you get a foreground bob to paint over it?
that's a good idea. So what Nathan's just done there for me is he's made me now, so tomorrow I will be YouTubing how to bleep out content whilst editing videos. So,
sorry.
to be fair, I thought I was going to have to figure out how to pixelate out content. I'm quite happy it's just bleeping out content.
You can put an 18 on it.
I
I was
could.
going to say it's meant to be Adult Doodle Club. I was expecting it to be far ruder than this.
Well, I did think about what kind of picture we were going to draw, and then I thought, no, we'll keep it clean for the first time, and then we'll see where it goes, where it leads. Okay, a couple more little lines on here is just some lines out. Lines that just stick out like this. You see that? And what we're doing there, just creating, again, more creases around the eyes, but because we're flicking the pen, we're hopefully getting a finer point on the end, just making it look a little bit more like a crease or a wrinkle in the skin there. Just so everyone knows, that's Nathan making all that noise, not me.
I was not.
Right, what we do is, okay, I think that's it for eyes. Let's work on the mouth now. So you see these boxes we've got here. These boxes are what is going to form the main shape of the mouth. We're going to keep that mouth open so that when we draw the skull in the middle, the skull will also be inside the mouth as well, okay? Nice, dead easy line this is. So we're going to start in this corner, and we're going to end up in this corner. We're just going to round it off a little bit. So depending on how steep you want that smile to look, start there, across, round it out, up to the top. Easy as that. Right, Nick, how's the missus getting on? Is she doing all right? See the thumbs up. Obviously, same on the other side. Got to say that. Just going to assume that we all know that, yeah, that we're doing exactly the same. We're mirroring this. Everything apart from the pupils will be mirrored on this. So we've got the top part of the mouth done. Let's do the bottom part of the mouth. Exactly the same kind of line, except we're going to start down here and finish up there. In fact, I'm going to start up here and finish up down here just because it's an easier line for me to draw. Again, taking a chunk out the corner, trying to finish off like that. Double line it. Already you can see that evil smile kind of coming out a bit now. Last thing to do, no, two more things to do on the mouth then. One is right at the top here. I just want to give it a little curl out. Just a tiny curl out like that. Both sides, because what we're going to do, we're going to use that as like a bit of a cheekbone later. Add a bit more shape to it. Kate, you doing all right? Everything making sense so far? Yeah, good stuff. And then the last thing on the mouth, and this is the last thing we'll do before we have a 30-second break. It's going to just draw this bottom lip in. So where you've got this line here, just go around and then come back on yourself like that. Same on the other side. So what we've got there is just the eyebrows and the bottom lip just kind of gently going over that middle line. Other than that, we're just adhering to that middle line as much as possible. I know it's not much to look at yet, but trust me, this is going well. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to have a quick look, see how everyone's getting on. So if you can, put yourself on gallery view. I'm going to turn the spotlight off on mine. I believe, great believer that art is a team sport and that we should all be pushing each other along, comparing each other's work, steal all the good ideas, lose all the bad ideas. I'm going to unmute everybody as well now as well. Hold it up, let's have a little look. Yeah, nice and well, good. Awesome. Nice. Nice. Love that. Love that. Howard and massive, isn't it? Massive. Very good. Awesome. Very good. Awesome. Now, brilliant. Brendan, well done. Hey, everyone's on track. Kate, you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Korp,
Yes.
Korp, I really want to colour in the eyebrows. Is that going to be what we're going to do later?
Let me just mute a few people, so just me and you can have the chat. Well, let me unmute you now.
I'm unmuted, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so what was you saying, Angela?
I really want to colour in the eyebrows. Is that going to screw up something we're going to do later on?
No, not at all, because we're going to end up, where's the picture? We're going to end up with that. So it's not going to screw up at all. So, yeah, whatever you want to do, if you want to jump ahead and add a bit of colour in there, it's not going to make any difference. The only thing I will say, Angela, is those lines, that bit there, anything this side is all going to be skin. Anything in the middle is all going to be bone. It's going to be skull. So just when you're thinking about what colours you're chucking in there, try and keep it so that you've got like the skin tones on this side and then the skull tones in the middle there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, apart from the fact I just love colour, so I'm I'm just going to pick the colours I like.
This is it, yeah. I think that's why I quite like doing the Posca session, because I always had a bit of colour in the Posca session, whereas these sessions are normally just keep it accessible, so it's just a Sharpie pen.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
I've got no excuses now with not attending the Posca lessons.
Yeah. No excuses at all. Right. Let's crack on with second half. So we're halfway through, would you believe? That makes me think the second half is going to be crazy because we're going to have to work a lot harder and a lot faster. So grab your Sharpie again. Let's get on with the rest of this. We're going to work on what we're doing now. Let's do some, let's do the skin. So we're going to do the skin all the way around and then a great big ear on there as well. Yeah. Okay. Where's my glasses? what should we do? Let's start. Let's do the chin first. So the first bit for the chin, starting at this bottom lip, we're just going to go straight down. As easy as that. And then we're going to draw a curve in a second that goes from there. It's just going to curve in. So it's going into this curve here. Let me show you what I mean by that. So starting about there, go across and just sort of curve into that. So it's almost like you're going to go up there, right into the mouth. Have a go at that one.
So it's not to join it.
No, not to join it. You want to leave a bit of a gap there. But just kind of flicking up round like that.
Oh, oops.
Try your best to do the same on the other side. Something very similar.
And I've got a big hole.
Mine's a bit wonky, that don't matter. Hayley, how are you getting on? It's all making sense to you? I mean, as a tattoo artist, doing black lines should be second nature to you, shouldn't it? Yeah, shouldn't it?
Well, you know, I've not tattooed for 9 weeks now. I've forgotten how to do it.
Is it like riding a bike? You just get straight back in?
Quick tattoo on my finger the other day just to make sure I could still do it, and it was all good.
Brilliant stuff. Who needs a sketch pad, eh? Okay, what are we doing next? Let's go and work on the head now. So for the headline, we're going to start here. We're going to go up and we're going to draw a line that goes down into the eyebrow. And again, we're going to stop short of the eyebrow. So a little V shape up there into the eyebrow, but stop short of the eyebrow. Double line that. Same on both sides. Or similar on both sides anyway. Angela, I don't know how you work like that with holding your sketchbook up and drawing at the same time. That's just crazy.
No, it's easier because then you can turn it so that you don't have to do awkward angles.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why I like to keep mine straight here, not because that's easier for me to draw with, but I'm hoping that that's easier for people to look at, to keep it straight. Because if I kept turning it around, it's just going to disorientate, I think. Okay, big line coming up now. We're going to do the side of the mouth and join into the chin. So massive line, but the good news is you get to do it twice. So if you mess up once, you just got to mess up the same way on the other side as well. So this big line, what we're going to do is we're going to start, you see where we finish the mouth over here? We're going to start up above here and we're going to go round that point. Then we're going to go all the way down and join into the side of the chin here. So let me show you what it's going to look like first, and then you can have a little go at it yourself. So all the way around, then all the way down. And then when you get down to the bottom here, you just want to slowly start curving around into that chin. Yeah, easy. Once you've done that, go and repeat the same on the other side. See if you can do a similar kind of shape. Going in around the edge of the mouth there, all the way down the side of the cheek. And then curving in to join the chin.
Oh dear.
Don't forget these lines at the bottom. Try and make these lines at the bottom a little bit thicker than the rest. Because they're the underside, we can turn them into shadows with the thicker lines. Well, good. So I'll hang on until everyone is about ready. So give us a few thumbs up when you're ready, and then we'll move on to that head bit. Yeah. All right. Oh, everyone's ready. It's just me. Okay. So the next bit we're going to do is just going to join the rest of this head up. Now we could just draw a circle, but think more 50p piece. Keep it a bit more angular as we join in. So we're going to go out, across, and then down like that. Out, across, down. And remember what I was saying about making those intersections. So where a line joins another line like that, make those intersections just slightly thicker. Those bits and those bits. You can see it's a perfect example on that line of how the intersection is a bit thicker. Nice way of just creating a little shadow. So Chris, it's pretty much down to you that we're drawing this today, because I thought I was going to just draw a pizza, because I've been drawing pizzas all week and I'm well tuned in for drawing this like drippy pizza. But then I remembered you'd done such a good job of it. I thought Chris ain't going to want to draw pizza again. He's going to want something more challenging. So it's down to you that we're drawing this. Okay, let's work on the ears. So with the ears, we're going to start above that cheekbone. That's the cheekbone. So we'll start above the cheekbone, about there. And then it's down to you on how big or pointy or weird you want to make your ears look. I'm going to go pretty standard, where I'm just going to go out and in like that. So pretty normal ear for me. Almost like a half a light bulb kind of shape. Again, keep it wonky, keep it double lined as well. So you can see like on mine, we've got like some real thick lines there, some real thin lines there. And because it's consistent all the way through the artwork, you get away with it. Looks like we did it on purpose. Now, normally for an ear, the inner ear would just be the letter H. You just draw the letter H in there and that would look perfect as an inner ear. But because we're behind this bit of skin here, we're going to do it slightly differently. So we're going to use like one of my favorite artists, like Cy Mitchell. We're going to use his kind of style of drawing lines, of loads of flicked out lines and coming back on yourself and creating loads of folds. So we're going to do a folded line all the way around the top of the ear there. So starting there, just do a line that kind of flicks out like that. You're getting quite close to the edge of the ear there, but you're not touching it. Then what you're doing is just go back on yourself. Do another line that flicks out. Again, getting quite close to the edge there. Then what you do is you go back on yourself again. Do another line that flicks out. You just keep repeating that process. Just go back on yourself and then flick out a line. I'm just going to end it there. I think that's a good place for me to end it. Similar kind of line just on the inside there. So that's kind of like the outer, I don't know, what's that bit of the ear called? Outer ear bit. We're going to do the inner ear bit. So again, another flicked out line and then one down like that. I've gone a bit too far with my line there. Don't really like that, but you know, that's okay. Nobody's going to notice that. I never get too hung up if I make mistakes. Just try and do something else that distracts people from it. Down the bottom here, let's put another little flicked out line. Just down the bottom. And then we'll put some ear holes in. So depending on what type of ears you've done, I've got a great big gap here. So I'm just going to stick a couple of ear holes in there. So one big one. See, it's wonky. Keep it wonky. And then one little one inside it. Okay, once we've done that, so I'm going to colour in that inside part actually. Get that blackened out. Go and repeat that process for the other side.
Wait a minute.
There we go. We've got our ears in. Now what we're going to do is work on putting the skull, planting the skull inside this head. So if you need to use a pencil to kind of give yourself some guidelines for the skull, we can do, but I think we should just be brave and go straight in with a marker pen. Now, if you're going with a pencil, then you're opening yourself up to a mistake. If you're going with a marker pen, it's like, well, I've got to get this right first time. So let's do it. With a marker pen, right from this line all the way across, maybe a little tiny upwards curve. Something like that. One line all the way across. And then down in the body, between the two bottom lips, I'm going to say, that's roughly where we want to put our teeth. So I'm going to keep the teeth nice and simple. Just decide you want 3, 4 teeth, and it's just a bouncy line. So kind of start, I'd say around about here, and then do a bouncy line all the way across, right in the middle there, yeah? So you've got to, as long as it's kind of somewhere in the mouth, that top part, somewhere across the mouth, it'll be okay. I usually like doing 3 teeth because it's a little bit weird to have 3 teeth. I'm going to go for 4 today. Double line it. Then we're going to join a few bits up now. So cheekbones for the skull. Don't know if I mentioned we're drawing the skull now, but yeah, cheekbones for the skull. So at the side here where that tooth ends, we're just going to come in on ourselves a little bit and start there, go across, then up into the up in towards the eye. Make sure you stop at that point though, yeah. Same on both sides, so just come in on yourself a little bit, curl upwards as if you're heading towards the eye. One thing I didn't do is just finish off these. You've got these little top lip bits that are not finished off, so I'm just going to do a line up either side just to finish those bits off. Forgot about those. And then the next thing we're going to do is add in the skull eyes. So a 3/4 of a circle, really. So starting, let's do this side first. 3/4 of a circle, starting there, all the way around, like that. And then I'm going to colour that bit in black. If you want to leave yours white, or if you want to add other colours in there, can do, but I'm going to colour that one in black. The reason I'm doing that is because I like, there's a lot of white on here. There's a lot of white areas. And the mouth is going to be black soon. And I like the idea of the eyes being black as well. It just adds a little bit of contrast in there. So same on both sides. I can never get eyes the same size, so I always draw one purposefully bigger than the other, intentionally bigger than the other, so it looks like I did it on purpose. How's it going, Brendan? Is it all working out all right so far? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Most of my art starts out like that, don't worry. Okay, what's next? Let's do, okay, nose. Now, if you want to do like a traditional skull nose, then you want to draw an upside down heart right in the center there. If you want to cute this thing up a little bit, then draw a heart the right way around. Just for Carol, I'm gonna do a cute one. She knows I like drawing cute artwork. There we go. Adorable. And then we're just about on the home straight here. So next bit to do is we're just going to finish off these mouths. So come in a bit and we're going to draw a line up just there. And what that is, that's kind of the back of the head or the back of the mouth, that line there. So all of this section, I'm now going to colour in black. Bit of a pen killer, this one. So I don't know what pen you're using, Susan, but this might be one where we just shade in a little bit or leave it white. And you see, for me, it really looks good. That kind of black eye and black mouth being next to each other is a real kind of eye-catching. Last thing to do with your Sharpie, have a little think about the pupils, what type of pupils we want to put in. Just little piercing dots, or whether you want to go with some bigger pupils. You can have crazy eyes, so they're pointing in different directions. I'm going to go, what should I go with? I'm going to go with a normal circle, little tiny circle in the top left corner. I know it doesn't make sense to have a top left corner of a circle, but you know what I mean. Up in the top left, stick another little circle in, colour the rest in black. Those little reflections just kind of bring the character to life a little bit. Now this is where we can start adding a few more interesting bits to it. So if you've got a fine liner, we're going to do a bit of work with a fine liner now. If not, if you still want to use your Sharpie, you can carry on using your Sharpie for these bits. You might just need a lighter touch with your Sharpie. So the first thing we're going to do is just add some shadows. With obviously with a pencil, you just press harder to add darker shadows. With a pen, you can't really do that. So the way I add shadows is just little lines on the bottom right of every section of this face. So if you imagine this chin, bottom right of this chin, we're going to draw a little line there. Same for this cheek. And the ear. So you're just going around all of these sections, wherever you think there'd be a little shadow, add a little shadow in. So I'm doing chin, cheek, ear, top lip, and eyebrow. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to spend too much time on it. I don't think it needs too much in there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So eyebrow, got the top lip, just a little tiny bit on the cheek this time, because the shadows are coming in. The light's coming in from this direction, so shadows are coming in from this direction. Couple of bits of shading. So with this eye bag, on the eye bag and the ear hole, to look a little bit darker. So let's put some little lines in there. If, like Angela, if you're adding colour, then this is a perfect opportunity just to, you know, colour the whole thing green and then colour the eye bag blue or something like that, just to add that darkness in there. Same with the ear hole, couple of little lines in there. let's give our goblin character a few freckles. So around here, just under the eyes, let's chuck some random circles. So one of the things I teach usually is just using 4 symbols for texture. So O's and U's are the softer symbols. They're good for skin. So if this character had a tongue, you'd be putting loads of U's on the tongue to make it look like taste buds. What we're going to do though, we're going to use those U's across the forehead, make it look like it's sweating a bit. So chuck in a few U's where you can. Makes it look like a bit of a drip. So yeah, like I was saying, 4 symbols that I use: O's, U's, quote marks, and hashtags. The quote marks and the hashtags are both straight lines, so they're perfect for making this section, the bone section, look a bit harder. So soft lines, curved lines for the texture of the skin, hard straight lines for the texture on the skull. So the first thing we're going to do on the skull, I'm going to put in a great big hashtag across the forehead. Going to add a couple of quote marks here and there, not thinking about it too much, just chucking them in where I think they should belong. And then we'll chuck some shadows in on this skull as well. So remember, bottom right, throwing in some shadows, the teeth, cheekbones. I don't think there's any way of getting it wrong. So what you're doing now is just throwing on loads of little bits of texture, little bits of shading, just little things that are going to make your artwork a little bit more interesting for people to look at. Last thing I'm going to do before we wrap up, have a little look, see how everyone's got on, is I'm going to fill this gap. So this gap, this and this gap, the top and the bottom, just look a little bit empty to me. So I'm going to fill this gap with a few bits. So just a little bit of filler, some circles. So I'm back on my Sharpie again now to fill these in, because I'm just getting to a point where I'm finishing off, just thinking, well, where needs gaps filling in to hold it all together. My favourite thing is putting a street art crown at the top. So give it a double lined street art crown as well. And I think that's about it. I don't think there's much more else we can do on there. So finish off any little like last minute touches you want to put in. If you think something's looking a bit plain, just go and chuck some lines on it, see what happens. So off the back of this, I will be doing a regular adult doodle club. So something I'm going to do every two to 3 weeks. It's going to be happening. So if anybody wants to join up for that, yeah, you guys that are already full members of Korp Academy can just join in for adult doodle club as it is. Anybody else who wants to join up for adult doodle club, it's going to be £5 per month, and that's for 2 workshops per month. So £2.50 per workshop. And we'll kind of draw this kind of stuff. Maybe ice lollies or bears, pizzas, all this kind of stuff is what we draw in doodle.
Korp worms.
I tried that once before for one of the kids' workshops. Got them all drawing corp worms. Didn't go well.
Yeah, it's an adult club though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might work out well. I've got a few ideas of the next couple of pieces I want to do. So with the kids' workshops and with the generic workshops, I've got to play it safe and make sure that it's easy, it's accessible to everybody. But the adult workshops, it'll be nice to kind of just turn it up a notch and see how everyone's getting on. Maybe do something that's a little bit edgier as well. That's the plan, anyway. Yeah, if you fancy joining up for that, let me know. It's going to be £5 a month for 2 workshops per month. And again, I think we'll probably do it on a Friday at 8 o'clock, but we'll see. If the feedback says do it earlier or later, then we can do that. Now what I'm going to do now is, Nathan's already on it. Put yourself into gallery view. Take the spotlight off of mine so that you can see what everybody else is up to. I'm going to unmute everybody, so it's going to be noisy. But yeah, it's a case now of hold up your work, see how we got on. Everyone's looks like. This is genuinely my favourite part. We're kind of looking at what everyone else has done, and we're all drawing the same thing. Everything looks so different.
That's it.
Haley, I really like that one. That's really nice. How did everybody find it? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't normally do grid things, so it's quite interesting to do it that way.
Yeah.
You do it left-handed next time.
I wish I could. Susan, yours looks fantastic. I like that. Well done. Well done, everybody. I think you did a great job.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
There's so much going on. Right, let me just put you up. So everyone's just back on mute for a few more seconds. So thanks for joining in. Really appreciate you joining in. If you've got any questions, now's the time to unmute yourself and chuck in a few questions. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap up about now. It's been great to see you all.
How hard is it? How hard is it to edit a swear word out?
I don't know yet,
Stop
mate.
it.
How bad do you want to go?
Stop it.
How bad could you
I'm
get?
being told off now.
Makes a change.
No, don't encourage me, please. No.
Fantastic. Well, they'll give me a bleep, so that'll be good. Right, nice one. Again, thanks very much, everybody. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll catch you all again at another Doodle Club. Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you later. Bye bye.
Thanks, Paul.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye, Ange.
Oh, bye, Nath. Bye, Laura.